Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Drawing Your OCs. Today's episode is a little bit different. I'm doing it in a slightly different way. So a lot of you wanted me to do full body drawings for the next episode. So I thought the easiest way to do this, so I could make sure I could do the full body drawings as well as actually get multiple OCs drawn, would be by doing the sketch traditionally first in my sketchbook and then colouring it digitally. It's just a lot quicker to do it that way, and I actually really like the kind of like distinct look it gives it. It does look a lot different to the other Drawing Your OCs drawings that I have done, so it might not be everyone's cup of tea, you might not like it, but I quite like how these came out in today's episode. So let me know what you prefer, the usual style of Drawing Your OCs or this style, because if you want to see more ones with like environment in the background as well as full body of the characters, then this would be the best way I can do that. But yeah, I had so much fun with this. I asked everyone to enter their full body references, and I don't know what it was, but this time around it was so difficult to pick an OC because they were all really good. Not saying they aren't normally all really good, but this was like extremely good this time. I was really struggling to pick the characters, so I did get my sister to help me pick out a few of them today, and I did consult a lot of people about it. But the first character that I'm drawing, I couldn't not pick this character because the character design was so well thought out, in just the concept sketches alone that this person entered. You could see the emotions of the character. They really did feel real because you could see that they did have the traits that the person described, like being caring, generous, confident and brave, but also the scared easily part as well. You could tell that from the really scared expression. I thought it was so cute. But anyway, I'm going to talk more about this person's OC now. So this OC was entered in by @murderfuel on Instagram, who is incredible at art, by the way, and I definitely recommend you should go follow them. So this is Nira, a deertor, I hope I'm saying that right, who grew up in the household of her best friend Pepper after her family was hunted down. She's incredibly kind to everyone, even people considered enemies, as well as being overly trusting, which makes her easily fooled. There's much more about her, but that would be a spoiler for the story. Everything else is pretty much in the image. So, basically in the image, the fun facts is that she makes mysterious clothes, loves nuts, is terrified of cars, loves everything cute, always wears a flower crown, matches her shirt to her crown, she's a good fighter, she's scared easily, and in terms of traits, she's big-hearted, light-footed, caring, generous, confident and brave. And then there's like the general facts. So she's 17, she's 4'3", so she's really short. Her species is deertor. Deertor? I'm really struggling with that. I know it's like centaur, so I guess it would be deertor. Favourite colour is pink. Favourite food is salad. And then it has a quote from her which says, "You scared the spots off of me." And then more traits. Oh, these are the negative traits. She's naive, gullible, scared easily, and timid. So that's all the general info about her, and I just thought she was so cute, and her design was so nice, and I loved the flower crown, and I was like, I must draw her. She has such a cool flower crown, and I had this idea in my mind of having her in like this woodland environment. But because by the time I'd added all the details, I didn't really want to detract from that. I didn't want the viewer's eyes to be drawn away from the character, so I did a background that was kind of like washed out, so it would detract as little as possible from her. And I really hate how the hand turned out, the one near the neck. I really feel like I could have done a better job on that, but in general, the anatomy I thought was okay, because, I don't know, I really struggled with this because she is so short, but I really wanted to make her look true to the character design. Also, sorry if you can hear my cat in the background, he is refusing to be quiet, so sorry about that. I also really liked drawing the hair on this one because she has like really long, really curly hair, and it was so much fun for me to draw. But yeah, in general, I'm really happy with how this one came out, and I'm really glad that this person entered in their OC. And as always, I'll have all the links to all the people that entered their OCs in the description. And before anyone goes and comments, what is an OC? Make sure you read the description. I always have the definition of an OC in the description, but an OC is an original character. So for anyone that doesn't know that, it's always listed in the description. Because it's beginning to drive me a bit mad, people going, what's an OC? What's an OC? But anyway, on to the next character. This comes from MusicCow02 on Instagram. Once again, the name will be in the description. So, this character stood out to me because the design was so different to the other designs I was seeing. And uniqueness is so important when you're entering this. Like, the more unique your OC is, the more it will stand out. And this OC had such a cool design, and then when I read the backstory, I was drawn to this character even more. So, Rajir Khaled, I hope I'm saying that right, is an Arabic female. She is serious, a born leader, values knowledge, puts others before herself, and hates showing emotion. This is 34 years in the future. Bill Hasir, an investor of his time, had made a machine that would clone humans, but after a few years, the cloning got out of control, which started a clone war. After a while, the originals, which is what they call themselves, realised they were losing and got so desperate that they built a gigantic spaceship so they could live in space. But not all the originals made it on the ship. About 1,000 people didn't make it. You see, Rajir's mother had the choice of saving herself or her daughter, and she chose herself. From that day on, Rajir learned she could only rely on herself. She created a secret organisation hidden from the clones. And then they put PS, she's not the main character, and PPS, she bleached her hair because the originals wouldn't listen to her if they knew she was an Arab, because Bill Hasir was Arab and they blamed him for the Clone War. So not only does this character stand out to me as being unique, but the different elements of the character have been thought out and they have a purpose, and that is so important when designing characters. Like, if you have given your character a weird hair colour or something like that, you have to think, why? Were they naturally born with it? Or did they dye it for a specific reason? And what importance does that have to their design? And these are things that I didn't used to actually think about, but there's lots of different important fundamentals to designing characters. Another thing being, you have to think about the environment in which your character is in. So if you have a character that is living in a cold environment that's really cold, they are likely to have a lot more clothing, maybe longer hair, and just things in general to keep them more warm. Whereas if they are in a hot climate, then maybe they'll have lighter fabrics and less of them to keep themselves cool. So things like that are important when you're designing characters, and these are just some tips I can give you guys, because I always have people upset that they haven't been picked every time. And not only is it difficult as there's so many people that enter every single week, but also some people don't put the thought into the character design or the backstory, and I know that the story writing isn't everyone's forte, and I'm sorry that it is a requirement, but it's just so I can understand more about your character and how much you've actually put thought into the character themselves, because sometimes people will just pick something because they think it looks nice without actually thinking about the practicality behind the character. And I'm actually I've done this myself, I'm guilty of this. I used to do that all the time. A lot of the characters I have today were created when I was very young, so they didn't have any kind of practicality to them. The thing is that you can always redesign characters, and if you are realising, oh, my character actually doesn't have much practicality thought into them, then just think, well, what can I do to change the character to make them a lot more practical? And maybe make them stand out as well, like this character really did. and because she sounded like such a cool, like, badass character, I decided to have her in this, like, pose that was kind of, like, assertive, and then I added, like, kind of, like, a smoky background, and I was quite happy with how that came out. Also, another thing that you might notice that was completely non-intentional, but ended up working out quite well, was that the backgrounds of this one and the first drawing that I did are different. The first one was done on a desk that has a white, like, wood to it, and the second one that I just drew was done on a table in the garden, and it has, like, a dark wood on it, and it just kind of reflects the different personalities of the characters. I didn't even mean to do that, but so then when I did this last character, because they are associated with space, I held up my sketchbook in front of my monitor with an image of space in the monitor to try and get, like, this space-like background in the background, so that's how I did that. And I wasn't planning to do another character, basically, but then I was thinking, well, I have more time and I'm not entirely happy with the amount I've done. Also, quick disclaimer, I know they're not all full body drawings, but the first one was a full body drawing, the second one was almost a full body drawing, and the last one, it was like 3 AM and I was like, I'm not doing another full body drawing. So I am running out of time to speak, so I'm gonna have to tell you this story really quickly. This is Sam. She's a galagard, which is a species that protects 2 to 3 galaxies. Sam protects the Milky Way and the Andromeda galaxy. Sam is very stubborn and doesn't listen to the older galagards. She is told not to mess with the weather on any planets and not to move any asteroids out of the path, because it could cause destruction. But she does that anyways, which is why weather reporters often get the weather wrong. Her favourite planets to mess with, Neptune and Earth from the solar system, because Earth has life on it, and Neptune is fun to play around with because of the cold temperature. She often plays with the dead souls of animals and creatures and always makes sure planets are safe. Her favourite soul is of a golden dove called Max, which is seen in the picture. Sam causes natural things like the solar eclipse and the supermoon. When she sees an asteroid, she moves the moon to save Earth. 2029, she saved Earth by moving the moon. The moon, however, shattered, so she had to call for the older galagards. It ended up okay. She is 3 million years old, but in Galagard she is 17. She is about as big as the Milky Way. So I really loved her character design, and also she was so much fun to draw. So thank you very much to Coffee Cup for entering your OC. And thank you guys for watching this video. I know it was a different way of approaching it, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. Bye!